I'm going to show you how to make this little pair of earrings here. Okay, I'm going to use kit number ACXC59 from Jewellermaker. Okay, and there you've got your beads and your findings. So for one of these earrings you're going to need 5 of the drop beads from your kit. You're going to need 15 of the 14mm beads. You're going to need 1 crimp and 1 earring finding. That's for 1 earring, so you obviously need twice as that for both. Then I'm going to use, for my tools, I'm going to use a pair of cutters, a pair of flat nose pliers, and I'm also going to use some beading thread. Okay. So to make this earring, you're going to need about a foot, about 30 centimeters of your beading thread. Okay. You're going to start by picking up one of your drop beads. Okay, bring it down to the center of your thread. And then with the end of the thread that is closer to the wider end of your drop bead, you're going to pick up 3 of your 4mm beads. Okay. Then you're going to take one of the drops again, and with this thread that has got the 4mm beads on, you're going to go through the wider end of your next drop bead, like so. With the other end, you're going to go through the drop bead in the opposite direction. Okay? So basically, that's what you have here. Just make sure it's sort of more or less in the center of your thread. It doesn't have to be very precise, just more or less in the middle. Okay? And you're going to repeat that again. So with the thread that's coming out of the wider end of your last drop bead, you're going to pick up 3 of your 4mm beads. Okay. Then you're going to pick up your next drop bead. Again, with the end that's coming out of your 4mm, you're going to go through the wider end of your drop bead. And with the other end, you're going to go through the narrow end. Okay. Pull it tight. Now you've got 3 on there. Okay, then repeat again. So pick up another 3 of your 4mm beads. One, 2, and the third one. Okay, then go through the wider end of your next drop bead and then the narrow end. Okay, pull it tight. Okay, just make sure you keep your tension the whole time. Okay, and then the last time again. So pick up another 3. Okay, and then pick up your last drop bead in the same way again. So through the wider end and then the narrow end. Okay, there you go. Now don't worry at this point if it's a little bit wonky, because it'll flatten out later on. Okay, so that's what you have at the moment. Okay, now what you're going to do is, can you see you've got 1 thread that's coming out in the middle of your earring here? Okay, you're going to pick up those 2 beads there in the middle, so pick up 2 more of your 4mm beads. Okay, and then you're going to go through the drop bead that is opposite on the other side. Okay, like so. Okay, so now you've got that bit there. Can you see it's starting to flatten out a bit better now? Okay, put it really nice and tight. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your beading thread and you're going to bend it up tight close to your drop bead. Okay, put it tight first so it's nice and snug, and then bend it up again. So essentially that's what you have. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take both ends of your beading thread put it through your last 4mm bead, like so. Okay, also put your beading thread through your crimp bead, both ends through your crimp bead. Okay, and then pull them down. Now if this is the second one that you're making in the pair, then just put it on top of the other one to make sure that they're both the same shape and size. Just play around with it a little until they match. Okay, like so. Okay, hold it there. Okay, now you're going to take one end of your beading thread, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to go back down through your crimp and through your 4mm bead. Okay, try to make sure they sort of all stay in the same spot. Okay, put it down until you have a little loop at the top, like so. You can double check just to make sure you still have the same shape as your other earring. Okay, when you've pulled that down nice and tight, then you're going to squish your crimp at the top. Okay, like that. You can put a crimp cover in there if you wanted to, but you don't absolutely have to. Okay, then you're going to take your cutters. You're going to cut off the threads. Now make sure that you only cut off the loose ends. So just turn your thread back away from your other threads, like so, a little bit, because then you can go in really nice and tight and cut that off. Okay, and the same with the other one. Just turn it away from everything else just to make sure that you don't cut anything that you shouldn't. Okay, pull on it a little bit so you get nice and close to your bead, and then cut it off. Okay, so you've got your earring made up there. Okay, then all you're going to do is you're going to take your shepherd's hook and you're going to open the loop with your flat nose pliers. Open it towards you, like so. You're going to put on your little made earring. Close that, and that's it. Nice and simple. If it's being a little bit crooked and not sitting flat, you can play around with it a little, because the thread has a bit of a memory, but you can sort of wiggle that out of that and flatten it down. Or if you really wanted to, you can put it between two books or something like that overnight just to flatten it properly. But as you can see, it's behaving quite well. Okay, that's it. Really quick and easy pair of earrings.